Okay, so the next surface area that we're going to talk about is a sphere. The surface area formula for a sphere is surface area equals 4 pi r squared. And now remember, r means our radius. So looking at number 1, we see that our radius, which goes from the center to the side, is 3. So we're going to plug into our formula and we get 4 pi 3 squared. Now, we can type that whole thing in our calculator and that gives us 113.1 feet squared. Or if I square 3, that gives me 9. 9 times 4 is 36. This could be 36 pi feet squared. Alright, let's try another one. So in number 2, if you notice, this line goes all the way across, which means it's the diameter. So to find the radius, we'd have to divide this by 2, which means our radius is 6. So we're going to plug straight into this formula. We're going to do 4 pi times 6 squared. Now if I square 6, that's 36, and 36 times 4 is 144 pi centimeters squared. Or you can plug this whole thing into your calculator, and that's going to give you 452.4 centimeters squared. Now, I know we've been doing volume the past 2 days, so we're used to things being cubed, but remember, we're going back to surface area, and surface area is always squared. Alright, let's try a word problem now. So let's look at number 7. Number 7 says a sphere with a diameter of 6.2 inches. So, since they give me a diameter, I need to divide this by 2 so I can get my radius. My radius is going to be 3.1. Now, I'm just going to plug it into my formula. I'm going to get surface area equals 4 pi 3.1 squared. So if I square 3.1 and I multiply it by 4, that gives me 38.4 pi inches squared. Or if you put this whole thing in your calculator, that's going to give you 120.8 inches squared. And I will take either one of those. Alright, I think y'all should be good on the surface area. So let's look at volume of a sphere. So now we're swapping to volume. So on your sheet it tells you that the area formula for volume, the volume formula for a sphere is 4/3 pi r cubed. So again, all we're going to need is our radius. Here, since our line goes all the way across, we're going to have to divide this by 2 to get our radius. So our radius is going to be 10.8. And since this is already a decimal, I'm only going to give you the decimal answer. So when we plug in, we get V equals 4/3 pi 10.8 cubed. So you would plug this whole thing in your calculator, and that would give you 5,276.7 centimeters. And remember, our volume is always cubed. Now, if you don't know how to cube something in your calculator, you're going to type in this number, and then there's going to be a button that has an arrow like this. So you type in your number, you push this arrow key, and then whatever you're raising it to, in all of these it'll be 3, and then you just press enter. Let's look at another one of those. So number 10, again, our length right here goes all the way across, which means it's going to be our diameter. So to find our radius, we've got to divide by 2. So our radius equals 8. So I'm going to plug into my formula and get V equals 4/3 pi times 8 cubed. So if we plug this whole thing in our calculator, our volume is going to be 2,144.7 inches cubed. Okay, and let's try a word problem now. So let's look at 15. In 15, it tells me that in the sphere our diameter is 2. Again, we do not use diameter for these problems, so we're going to have to take our diameter and divide that by 2, and so our radius will be 1. Then we are going to plug into our formula. We get volume equals 4/3 pi times 1 cubed. And when you plug that whole thing in your calculator, that gives you 4.2 meters cubed. Now your homework for this weekend is to finish the rest of the examples on this sheet, and remember, I want to see where you wrote out how you plugged it in. I don't want just the answers, but make sure you've shown that you plugged it into the formulator. Then you're welcome to type it right into your calculator and give me the answers.